What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. It is Monday, and we back for another show. Do me a favor before we get started. Hit that like button. Smack it. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and a message out. You still got time. Let's do it. And let's get into it. Topics to be covered. Today, we are talking about a little bit, like very lightly and very briefly. Gonna talk about the Super Bowl because I watched it. But what we're really gonna get into is how I stay lean, sharp, and full of energy. So we're gonna get into that. And I think there was a guy who called in to the show and asked and requested I do something about that. So I followed through. If the Lord is willing, we're gonna get into that and get into the details of that kind of stuff. Sorry if I threw some of the people off with the thumbnail, but I had to. It's covered up. It's all right. But anyway, if you have any, if you would like to talk about past shows, or it is a talk show, by the way, so you can call in 888-775-3773. You can talk about past shows, the topic at hand, whatever you want to talk about, you can call in and we could chat. And for whatever reason, if you cannot call in, you can send a super chat by going to the chat box, and you can send your question or comments there, and I'll read them live on air, and we can do the whole thing. Or you can go directly to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV and send your question or comments there. It's a little bit more fun over there. And there I can read them as well. Nice. So you do have that option. How's it going, chat? How you guys doing? Come on, man. Says, does Maze ever call Joel Friday TV? Yeah, Maze has called a couple times. Chris says, Joel about to sell us supplements. I wish I had some supplements to sell. Any sponsors want to hook your boy up? Sponsor your boy. No, I don't take any supplements. Not that they're bad or anything. It's just not. I've tried them. They just don't really work for me. And they kind of have weird ones. But let's get into it. So I watched the Super Bowl yesterday. It was a very entertaining game, to be honest. I normally never watch football or any kind of sports. I played my whole life growing up, so I know the sports. I know, the rules, positions. I played baseball and football for more than half my life, since I was 4 and 7. So about 14, 15 years, all the way up until high school. And I played almost every position in baseball. I played multiple positions in football: receiver, quarterback, safety, free safety, cornerback, linebacker, a lot of different things. I don't know if I ever played linebacker, to be honest. Now I'm thinking about it. I was always kind of small, but Pop Warner, everybody's small, so you can kind of play multiple positions. But so I watched it. I'm not really into watching it, right? It's just kind of like boring. But I like watching like the main games because that's when they get real competitive. And I watched the Super Bowl and it was very entertaining as far as like the game goes itself. I enjoyed watching it. It was like neck and neck from like quarter 1 to fourth quarter. And, I love that like competitive spirit when it comes to that. And it was very interesting. And where I went, everybody was kind of into it, so the environment was very energetic. So it was fun. It was a fun game. Went into overtime. Halftime show with Usher, boring. A lot of people loved it and thought it was great. Boring. I'm a fan of like legit dancing and entertainment and um, artistry when it comes to that kind of stuff, performance. And to me, it just was mid, as the Gen Z would say. Very basic, nothing special. A lot going on, but just a lot of like fluff, not like real performance based stuff. And no disrespect, but it just was like not really my cup of tea. But everybody in the at the restaurant was loving it, singing along and stuff like that. And of course, Usher has the hits, but I don't know, performance like I think Rihanna's performance. I don't know if it was halftime, but her performance was way better as far as dancers and entertainment goes. Both degenerate, but you know, if we're gonna critique it, Chris Brown next year. I don't know. Chris Brown has taken a dip in performance aspect as well for me. I know a lot of people think Chris Brown can dance, and he can dance, but like I've seen dancers get down, and even Chris Brown has said it on interviews. Like I dance, but I ain't really as good as you guys think, because he's a singer. He sings. He's an artist. But yeah, there's crazy dancers out there, and it just wasn't. I don't know. The performance and the choreography just wasn't doing it for me. But anyway, um, I watched it and it was interesting. But and obviously they had those weird commercials, those weird like commercials in between that was just like I don't know. Obviously all agenda driven, and the one with the Jesus one, they would play like light comedy commercials, and everybody would be like in a light mood, and then they would just hit you with the Jesus one, like all off timing, all weird, and it was just like another example of how they give Jesus a bad name and Christianity a bad name. You know what I mean? Like in the name of like trying to save people, but it's like the timing is off, the energy is off. Nobody is in that mood right now. You know what I mean? And then you just like plaster this, you know, propaganda at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's just like it was just a mess. Awkward, cringy stuff. But other than that, I enjoyed the Super Bowl. It was cool. But that's all I have to say about it. So by request, I forgot who it was that called in, but they asked if I can do an episode on like, you know, staying fit and lean and workout. Not a workout plan, but just like how I stay fit and lean and all that stuff. And I thought about it, I thought it was a good idea because I don't know, I guess people are interested in just figuring out how to get it right. And I've been doing this for a very long time. Like I'm young, but I've been like I said, I played sports my whole life, so I've been in and out the gym like for years. I've been working out like weights wise since I was 14. So it's been a long time consistently since 14 to now. So it's been many years of like being in the gym and doing. So I know a little bit. I know a little bit about working out and like what I have found in my workout routine that has brings me the most results. And like diet wise as well, what works for me. So I want to give like just like small simple tips that maybe you guys can use that may be helpful. But my main thing that interests me in what I have found in the routine that I use is the energy it has brought me. I don't drink caffeine. Like every once in a while, I'll have like something that has a little caffeine in it, like just for whatever reason, but I don't drink caffeine. And don't coffee or any of that stuff. And mainly because it messes me up. It doesn't do me any good. So I just avoided it. But I've also found, because of avoiding it, I found different ways of how to like access this natural energy that lives within us, right? And more over time, I've been tapping into it, and I just get more and more energy, natural energy, and I can wake up and move, keep it moving, right? And it's crazy. I didn't know that existed. I didn't know what that life is like. Nobody teaches. They don't teach that in school. They don't teach you how to do it properly. They just get you hooked on to all the things, the advertisement, the commercials, point you every which way to give you the substitute of the real deal within, right? So I didn't know that this exists. Um, but as I'm learning, I want to share with you guys. So, um, Joel's so proud of his slave jeans. Hey, this is not slave. Don't try to downplay it. Xavier must be like a big guy. Big. Maybe he has some asthma. If you want to downplay. Nah, I'm just playing. A diet, best way to stay in shape. Yeah. And I also, there's ways you can still eat, enjoy yourself and still be okay. So let's get to it. One thing I realized is that what's most important, key, and to keep having like good energy and natural energy is you want to be able to keep a flow. You want to be able to keep a flow, and you want to create a momentum, right? And if you think about it, creating this momentum is what like is driving the engine, right? And when you keep it going and you find this flow and you stay in this flow, it's keeping everything moving. And then it just grows and grows and grows, right? So you want to find the flow and create momentum. That's one thing. And you do that by creating a routine. You want to get into a routine, a habit of a routine. And at first it's kind of difficult because you may not be used to it. But after a while, your body, your muscles, your brain starts to adjust to this routine, and it feeds off of it, right? And it craves it, and eventually you start to have more energy. So I'm gonna give it like a few things that I do that has been helpful. The first one we all know, right? And for the new people that don't, I'm gonna explain a little bit. Is like the mind and the body, right? So we obviously know that the best way to have more energy, natural energy, is to let go of the emotions, right? The stress, the anxiety, the fear, the anger, all those things are what take steal every ounce, right? Your depression, all that stuff is kills your energy. So we want to be able to obviously get to a point where we let that go, and we let that go by overcoming the anger, and we do that by realizing you have it for one, and then realizing where it came from, and then going to forgive. So we all know that for the most part, but for the new people, recognizing you have the anger and then going to forgive, right? And what I've learned really quick, briefly, is that realizing that whatever anger or resentment that you have, was that a sneeze? Whatever you have, anger, resentment within, you realize that you're wrong for having it, because you're wrong for hating somebody who is broken and lost just like you are, right? So you want to go to the people who influence that anger, which is oftentimes your parents. 99.99999.9999% of the time it's your parents because they raised you, but there's exceptions to the rule. And once you forgive them and apologize for resenting them, then you are set free. It's a weird thing, and it almost seems like unrealistic and magic, right? To the person who's never done it, but it's like a weird relief that comes from letting go of that anger, like a separation from the emotions. It's amazing, right? And you want to do that first because that's everything is spiritual, right? So you want to get the spirit right. So that's the first thing is overcome your emotions, let go of your emotions by realizing it's wrong to hate, to have anger, which is the cause of your emotions, right? Judgment. So you got to forgive. And then you got to meditate. You got to be able to watch your thoughts and stay in the present as much as possible. You should be doing that morning and night. And then for those who don't know, you can go to silentprayer.video and there's instructions by a JLP and it walks you through how to stay present because God is in the present and the enemy's in the mind. So you want to meditate and be still. Right? Right. So those two are the most important. Letting go of your emotions, overcoming them, and then meditation, silent prayer, observation. Two most important. Okay. So now the practical things that you and I can do on a daily basis that will really get the engine going, right? Is so the second one is working out. Okay, so what I do is so what has helped me is that I used to, well, I still do, I'll do like a workout in the morning. Some people's schedule is weird. Some people can't work out in the morning. But what I found that when I would work out in the morning, whether it be like actual weights or whether it be just like a run or a walk around the block, whatever it is, just getting the blood flowing in the morning changes the whole start of your whole day. And what it's doing is this is getting your blood flowing and your heart pumping, and that's sending the proper blood flow to your body, to your brain, and it's like keeping you refreshed. And I typically do that in the mornings. Some type of exercise in the morning, whether it be the gym or the like a run, a jog around the block, like a whatever. Doesn't matter how long it is. But I do that, and what that does is it gets me, it's kick starts that momentum for the morning, right? And at first, it's kind of like tiresome, right? But after a while, working out or running or going to the gym or any of these things gives you energy. People think it takes your energy away, but it actually gives you energy. So yeah, a morning boost is super key. And working out, a lot of people think you got to work out like an hour, 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. They lying. If you want to do that, cool, but you're not preparing for a bodybuilding contest. You just want to be fit and lean, right? And the very minimum should be 30 minutes. But the sweet spot, 30 minutes between an hour, right? But just if you're starting out or you want to keep something that's sustainable and you're not burning out, 30 minutes minimum, 3 days a week, you're chilling. You're fine. It's not too hard to be consistent on. 30 minutes is like quick in and out. Just make sure during that 30 minutes, you're just like putting the work in. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, 3 days a week, not even every single day of the week. And this is just the minimum. And if you want to eventually do more, then you build your way, but don't try to start off as this like, this is where people go wrong is they try to go 6 days a week, 7 days a week, 2 hours in the gym, and then they end up burning out in 2 weeks. And they have this trauma from the pain of working out, and that's how you get all messed up. Makes you not want to go back. Baby steps. Start small and build your foundation. Let it take some time, and your body will start adjusting to it. And now for me, um, I can get my body just expects to do some type of workout. So if I do it for 15 minutes, I'm getting a crazy pump because my body knows that when it's feeling that pressure from lifting or doing whatever, that it's time to grow. It's time to grow. So after a while, you do it enough and get consistent, it'll be easier to lose weight, easier to gain muscle because your body knows how to work in that way. It's muscle memory. But that's why you got to be consistent to know that and to figure that out. So minimum 30 minutes. I go 30 minutes in the gym. I'm 30 minutes. I do an extra 30 just because I stretch afterwards. But as far as working out, I'm 30 minutes in the gym. That's it. I'm not doing no hour, 2 hour type of deal. No, I'm 30 minutes, 3 days a week for me. You know what I mean? And that works for me because, yeah, just like what I explained. So as far as working out, start a good workout. Do a little something in the morning. Do a little something in the morning. And do it, have a schedule to it, and be consistent about it. And then your body will adjust to it. So that's working out. Eating. This one's probably saved my whole life. This one probably saved my whole life. Because eating has a big attachment to your emotional state. Especially because 99% of the time when we eat, we're eating out of a craving, out of the ego, and not because we're hungry. Isn't that crazy? So eating is like a big one. But all these like propagandized ideas about a diet and all these things, Lord have mercy. It's not that deep. It really is not that deep. To be doing these crazy diets, it's not that deep. This is what you do. This is what has worked for me, right? And I'm not no medical professional, but this is what has worked for me, is that you put your eating schedule on a schedule, okay? What I do is if I eat, most of the time as of late, since I started going full time with the podcast, I just be eating twice a day. But normally I eat 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But what I do is I put myself on a schedule for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's say, for example, breakfast is eaten at 8 a.m. Then lunch is eaten at noon, 12. And then dinner is eaten at 6, right? Let's just say. I stick to that schedule every day, no matter what. 8, 12, 6, every single day. That way, and that's like, you want to give yourself 4 to 6 hours in between each meal, right? And in that way, in between those 4 to 6 hours, when you're craving food based off of your ego, or like you're stressed out and it makes you want to eat, instead of just feeding that, you're disciplined and knowing, no, I can't eat till 6. No, I can't eat till noon. And what that does is that denies the ego, and it gives you more energy, you more strength, right? And the more it sounds crazy, y'all, and it sounds like I'm making this up, but the more you deny the ego, the more energy you actually do have, because ego is all emotion, and emotion is draining. It take all your energy. It's not your life source. Your life source is the spirit. So when your ego dies, your spirit comes alive more and more and more, and that's where your life source is. So you gotta die daily to the flesh. So put yourself on a schedule. 8, 12, 2, or whatever, right? 10, 2, 6. It changes. But I always make sure I stick to a schedule. And that right there alone change your whole energy throughout the day. Working out in the morning and then sticking to your eating schedule. Now, as far as what you eat, I talk to people all the time about this, is that I don't eat like salads all day. Some people may, um need to do that or may be okay with doing that, and they have the discipline to like say, you know what, we're going straight salad and this is my lifestyle. Power to you. If you can do that and you want to do that, then do it. It's fine. I think um James eats a lot of greens and like a lot of greens. So it's possible and it's sustainable because he does it. But what I do, because I have a different body type than James does, is what I do is that I just do subs. I just make better choices, right? So a lot of people think you gotta go from eating pizza every day to now eating salads every day. No, that jump is too extreme, right? As Hassan would say, you don't want to pivot that hard, right? And that's true. You want to be able to take baby steps there. So you just make substitutions. So say if you love In-N-Out, you eat In-N-Out burgers every day. Well, instead of eating the bun on the burger every day, do protein style. You still get to eat your In-N-Out, but now you just took the bread out. So it's just substitutions. Instead of eating the Mexican food every day, eat it a couple times a week, but get like a better choice. Baja Fresh, right? Chipotle. You know what I mean? It's they're not like the most healthier choices, but they're better choices. You want to take those baby steps, especially if it's hard for you to be consistent. So that's what I do. I don't like just eat salads all day for me. And I still like have those days where I go in. I eat a whole pizza by myself and dessert, same sitting. You know what I mean? But I don't do that all the time. But you can still enjoy your stuff. You can still snack, have snacks here and there, whatever. You just got to be able to know when it's time to do it and when it's not. So every 4 to 6 hours, you want to eat, and you don't want to pick on foods in between. Don't be picking on stuff. Eat when it's time to eat, and that's it. And you'll have more energy, guaranteed. Last one, and I'm gonna get some calls. Is and then some super chats as well if there's any super chats here. Um, Last one is like the one that we spend the most time at, right? Is work life. The work life can get tricky because that like even though we're working, we still may not be working. You know what I mean? Like we're working, but we're not productive. And it's so easy to get that way, right? Especially when you get caught up in the work. And from experience, there's times where I would get caught up in the work, and then when you get too caught up, you're just spinning your wheels, not going anywhere, right? So what I found that worked for me is before I go to bed, I do my schedule for the next day. I write my schedule out, what I'm gonna do for that whole shift, right? My whole day, really, my whole day. And even the tasks at work that I have to do, I schedule them. Like, right? So like this thing I'll do like for an hour, this thing I'll do for like 2 hours, whatever it needs to be. But you don't want to work on one thing. And this is my suggestion. I don't know what you do in your life in your job, so you may have to do it a different way. This is just my suggestion. Is that like if I do things longer than like for too long of a period, I get caught up in it into trying to perfect it and trying to make it perfect and right, and I end up like digging a hole for myself. Now my whole day is gone, and I don't really get much done. If I pull it on a schedule, it keeps my mind fresh. So even if I'm not finished with the job, I move on to the next thing. Just that so that way my mind stays light and fresh and not overworked. Overworking steals your energy. That's factual. If you get too caught up into it, it steals your energy. And we don't realize this is the reason why we go to pick up the coffee and pick up the things, because we're feeding, like, we're balancing out this like overdoing with like unnatural energy to keep us going, instead of like learning how to keep it a constant light workload. You're still working hard, right? You're still getting the work done, but you're not like too deep into it. And that's why I put it on a schedule, so I can move on to the next thing, and you get more done. I've gotten more done because of that. So I have my schedule for the whole day written out the night before, right? And essentially what all this is just putting your life in order. It's just making sure your life is in order. When it's in order and you're doing it, you're creating that momentum like I was talking about. And that momentum is what's giving you that energy, because you're doing it on a consistent basis. Your body and your brain is getting used to it. You know what I mean? And then your body and your brain seems to want it and crave it more. Now, it's not always easy, right? It's not always fun to do. Sometimes you're just tired today. But once you catch that momentum throughout your day, that tiredness goes out the way. It's gone, right? Because you catch that momentum again. Right? And you can only have that momentum by creating a system in your life, where it be work, food, diet, raising the children, school. That's why all these things work the way they do. There's systems, there's structure, right? To making a business run properly. These are systems in place to keep it going. And that's how we have to be as well. So you want to keep a flow. Find that flow, find your routine, and hit it on a consistent basis. And then results. Internally, mostly, right? And then you'll see them physically too, right? But internally, mostly you start seeing the results in yourself, because your body is now becoming disciplined. Your mind is becoming disciplined. You know what I mean? Instead of just like waking up and taking a guess, winging it. Sometimes it's nice to be adventurous and oat free and like no plans. I'm talking about like when we're living practically, like with work and all that stuff. Order is what gives you energy. I don't drink, and I don't say it to brag or nothing, but I don't drink coffee. I don't drink no energy drinks. I don't drink protein bars with energy in them, because those protein bars are tricky. They'll sneak up on you. There's energy in them. They be lying. So you got to really make sure you read them. But I don't do none of that stuff because in the mornings, I have my flow, and my body has grown accustomed to it. So it's doable. The only thing is just consistency. I hope that makes sense. Let me get to a call. Oh, um, somebody said Lord Bibby 42 says tap water or filter. Um, to me, I just drink water. I don't even know if it's tap. Sometimes it might be tap. Sometimes filtered is obviously better. But another thing too is that what's not in your house is what won't get eaten. So I do drink like sugary drinks here and there, right? But I don't have them in my house. Rarely. I rarely have them in my house. And at work, I have just water on me. Most of my drinking is just water. Just water. But I'm not like, I don't shun certain things. Like if I want a sugary drink, I'll do it when it's like appropriate. But just watch yourself and you'll see all these things, how they steal your energy and take your energy. Nobody told me this. I just had to like learn it as I was going, and like watching myself and just seeing like, oh, okay, that affects me that way. So I can't do that before work, or I'm gonna be sleepy. right? You just start to figure out what works. So let me get to a call, and then I'll get to some more messages here. If you guys have any questions about it, just let me know. You can call in 888-775-3773, and we can get into it. Gray out of Los Angeles. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
What's up, Jay? How you doing?
All is well.
All right. Hey, I like the topic today. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
So what I wanted to say was, if you, for the people that want to get fit, I believe that your nature needs to change. You know what I mean?
In what way? What do you mean?
Like,
Oh, I lost him. Where'd you go, man? I think something happened to his phone. Gray. Oh, he might be calling back in. Is this Gray? We don't know yet. Hold on. C-Sal is my new moderator. One of my new moderators says, as soon as I dropped the carbs, the baby weight fell off. Yup. Right on, C-Sal. Gray, you're back on the air, man.
Hey, I don't know what happened. The call dropped. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, it's all good. You were saying?
So I was saying, I believe, your nature needs to change. Like you said, I don't know what year you were born, but I grew up during the 90s, and naturally everybody would play outside and was involved in sports. And I know that kids today are not growing up like that. So to them, everything is an exercise,
Yeah.
And they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But for me, I played basketball, I played soccer, I played all these things, and as I grew older, all these things benefited me.
Yeah.
And I feel like today I don't have to work too hard because it's already in me to do these things. Want to work out, want to move around. My job consists of me moving up and down,
Yeah.
And also, I want to get your thoughts on...
Really quick, though, just that
what do you think about...
that last part. You said that... Sorry, I was looking at the chat here, and I'm trying to... Mm-hmm. But you were saying, would you say that last part there?
Oh, that it's in my... Like I said, your nature needs to change. You need to... It's just a natural change that occurs in you when you want to start working out. It's not so much planned, but it's like a reflection of your life, Like if your life is in order, you have to get your life in order first. I like that you said that, It starts with like forgiving and then getting your life in order, making your bed.
Yeah.
Eating right. Oh, I also wanted to get your thoughts on what do you think about cold showers?
Well, really quick, I want to get to that, but I think simultaneously too, as you're saying that, I think as you get your life in order, which is true, and that's why that's the first one I had got to, because that's most important, right? Like your mind, getting your mind right, your spirit right. But simultaneously, I think that we can do it at the same time, because that's how it was for me. But there has to be a genuine interest to like start getting things together, like making the bed, clean your room, clean your house. All those things they definitely are a reflection of you. But cold showers,
yeah.
Oh, I hate cold water.
You haven't heard of the benefits?
Good. Yeah, no, I heard that they're good, and I heard that there's benefits to them. As far as like, I don't know, like I've done them, and I've tried it and just like went for it. And I don't think I've ever did like a cold plunge where my whole body is underneath ice water for a certain amount of time. I don't think I've done that. But there's definitely like an element to it that kind of kills the ego in a sense. But just temporarily. But I don't really know too much about it, so I can't say it's like a major thing, but I don't think that that's like that deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what it is? It's okay. So when it comes to the cold shower, I think what it's trying to do, it's making you be in the present. Like when
Okay.
you're in that cold water,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing else that you're thinking about. You're not
Mm-hmm.
thinking like, oh, this happened earlier or
Yeah.
what's going to happen later.
Yeah.
You're trying to survive. Your body goes into survival mode when you're in cold water.
Yeah.
And it's like a practice and you feel good after it. Like you feel energized.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
hot showers will get you lazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Warm showers,
That's
people
true.
got to get out of their comfort zones. Um yeah, like I don't eat. Like I wake up, I don't eat till like 2.
Okay.
So
So
and
you
I
fast
stop eating at
until
8 at night.
so you
Yeah.
fast into to and what benefits have you seen doing that? Like as far as it goes for you?
Well, I've noticed that, people love to eat and they never give their gut a break. It's
Yeah.
always working, it's always with something in it, and especially bad food, So
Yeah.
the benefits for me is I have energy. Like since I
Yeah.
wake up, I don't need to eat. The thing in my, like I'm not thinking about eating when I wake up. I'm just
Okay.
thinking about getting ready for work.
Yeah.
And around 2 I eat, and I don't eat a lot because I know if I eat a lot, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah,
It's just the
that's
way it
it.
is at my age, I guess.
Yeah. No, yeah, same here. It definitely, especially if your job at work is to sit, you can hang it
Yeah.
up. You're done. You're like by the first couple hours in, you're cooked. You're sleeping. But that's the thing is that I agree is that sleeping. Fasting until a certain time definitely keeps your mind sharp because for whatever reason, it's a weird thing. The food just in all ways it makes you lazy, clouds your judgment. Your mind is slower.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. But I
Y-
agree.
y- It is this too. Like if you take into consideration how how the humans were, hundreds of years ago,
Yeah.
they weren't eating all the time. They had to
Right.
hunt and look for food.
Right.
So when you're not eating, you're in reality you're at your best.
Yeah.
You're focused. Your body is thrown into this super focus
Yep.
mode, and it's great. It's great. I like it.
Yeah.
I've done that for years.
Yeah. 100% Gray. I appreciate it. I gotta end a little bit early here, so I'm trying to rush because Jesse's coming in with another show coming up.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
no worries,
appreciate
bro.
it. Thanks, man. Call me again.
All right, for sure. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Right on. He's right though. Gray's right. You gotta just pay attention. Just pay attention. Try it. Try it one time and just see how your body feels. Let me get to another call, and then I got to end here soon, folks, because Jesse Lee Peterson is coming in. I hope I can announce that. If not, it's too late. But I got to end a little bit early today. But I still got a little bit of time. So let me go to of Aaron C. out of Utah. What's going on, man? How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man? Pretty good, pretty good. I was just
Right on.
calling. I'll try to make this as quick as possible.
Cool, cool.
I was gonna say, towards the back end of what that caller was saying, as far as like fasting and
Yeah,
going long time periods without food, that is
yeah.
definitely really good for you. That's
Yes, sir.
humans in our natural state, especially if you are of the Caucasian persuasion. That's pretty much our ancestral diet, is to go long periods without food and then mainly eat meat. Now, what I wanted to share was, anyone that's out there, I thought it was gimmicky at first, but for the last couple of months, I have been doing a carnivore diet with just a few minor slip ups here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you that it's the best that I've ever felt.
Yeah.
I have like a 6-pack and everything, and I don't even do sit-ups or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And my testosterone, every time I get blood work done, they always tell me that my testosterone's high, that it's pretty high. And I don't take any supplements. I don't inject testosterone or nothing like that. And I'm pretty confident it's from that predominantly meat diet.
Interesting. I've heard a lot of great things about carnivore diet. I've never done it myself, but I've heard a lot of people swear by it, and they say that they've cut a lot of fat quickly by eating meat only, by eating just beef, right? I think it's beef only, right? Or
Well,
no?
no, because I mean the diet is already very limiting to begin with. I mean, it'd be
Okay.
hard to just eat meat every single meal. That's way too much. But no,
Okay.
I eat all the meat, fish, chicken, beef, etc., steak
Okay.
multiple times a week.
Yeah.
But I could just tell anyone out there is the weight loss aspect as well. But again, the mental clarity will be through the roof.
I agree.
If you're a man, I'm almost 40, and my testosterone is higher than that of a typical young buck. You know what I mean? And like you said, I stay pretty energetic, stuff like that. I look at most people that are around my age, and they are just an absolute joke, and most of them have no discipline.
Yeah.
Because eating, I use that military discipline as far as to help me, stick to that carny diet. And for anyone out there, it is definitely, of course, it is challenging though, because as you know, the elites don't really want you eating meat like that. They kind of want us all doing the vegan thing, which is how you can tell that's a psyop. Because I experimented with that a couple of years ago as well. But they clearly don't want you eating meat. It's very hard. It's very expensive. I do get meat from a local butcher here. I recommend everyone to do that in their area. But it is expensive to get the clean stuff, because if you're eating meat every single meal, it needs to be clean. It cannot be that crap. You know what I mean?
Good.
So
good point.
It is challenging.
Good point.
But anyway, yeah, man, that's all I got.
I appreciate it, man. Perfect. You wrapped it up just in a great amount of time. So thanks for the tips. That's a lot of people just don't know that the benefits of going on a carnivore diet or just fasting in general. So I appreciate it, man. Call me again.
Yeah, fasting is the truth. Fasting is the way.
Yes, sir.
You. All right, yep. You take it easy, man.
Thanks, man. 100%. And I'm gonna end it by saying this: is that fasting is, like you just said, probably one of the greatest things you could do. Now, if you're gonna fast long term, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days or more, you want to make sure you're professionally ready to do that. Like you're research heavy, because your body still needs certain amount of nutrients. So don't just fast in the name of fasting for a long period of time, because you could be doing damage to yourself. But for me, when I fast in short amount of times, like it's the quickest way to die to the ego. Meaning, like, let's just say, like, for example, this is how it was for me. I'm not 100% sure that this will work for everybody, but this is how it was for me. I got sick one time, and it happened to fall on the day that I was fasting, and I didn't eat the entire day. No food, no nothing. And when that happened, the very next day I was already better. Now, like I said, it depends on your lifestyle and the way you do it. But what fasting does is that it clears you out. It cleans your system. Because I don't know exactly how it works, but all your organs inside feed off of the things that you put into your stomach. So when it doesn't have it, it's like working, right? It's essentially working out. And it knows how to grab energy from different places. The body is a fascinating thing. But fasting does, honestly, and that's why in a religious way, they tell you to fast to get closer to God, right? In the Bible and all that stuff. Because it makes you clear. It denies all wants and desires and ego. So you're clear up here to see and hear from God. That's why they tell you to do it. Fasting is a big deal. So even if it's just a couple hours, even if it's half a day, a full day, like you want to grow into it, right? But I highly stand by and suggest that you think about that. Energy, all of that. It's a crazy thing, but it's not easy. I gotta end. I don't even know who I should promote next. But just know, somebody's coming next. I don't know who to tell you, but I gotta end. I'll be back here tomorrow. Different topics, different things. We'll get into some more stuff. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in and all that good stuff. Joel Friday TV across the board. Got some stuff coming. Until next time, y'all, I'll see you again. See you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time. All right, then, guys. Peace out.